Hey everybody, Happy New Year to you. This is Dr. Ladre Weathers with your Better Life Coach. Oh my God, Happy New Year. It's January the 1st of 2019. It's been quite a while since I've come on, quite a while since I've spoken to you all. Please forgive me for my absence, but I'll talk about that today. But again, I'll give people a few seconds to come on and click in. But again, happy 2019. Many of you all were looking so hard to have made it. And guess what? You did. So want to congratulate you on making it to 2019, because it was a little easy at some point to just go ahead, give up, throw in the towel. But I want to share with you really quickly what's going on, because Better Life Institute is back on the books. And it's thank you all again for supporting us. I'll give everybody about 20 more seconds to jump on, because it's a holiday and I'm going to go celebrate. Praise the Lord. Good stuff. Good stuff. So come on in. We're talking today about being recovery ready. Hey, Rosanna, good to see you, sir. Thank you, Dwayne, for jumping on. Thank you, Matt. My son, Matt Grenard, out there in Alabama doing some good stuff. So let me go ahead and get started. I don't want to keep you very long. Rosanna is right. Please don't throw in the towel. So December the 1st, I was in Greenville, South Carolina with my good brother, Bishop Marcus Benjamin. And we were in an event for Black to Business. And as the event was progressing, I just heard it so strong inwardly to be recovery ready. Hey, Iris, good to see you, lady. To be recovery ready. You all know for the month of November and the month of December, for the most part, Better Life Institute was silent. That's because I was silent. Life just got to the point where I've got pretty big shoulders. I'm a pretty nice sized dude, but I crushed. I collapsed under the weight of everything in my life. And the crazy part about 2019 is I'm recovery ready. I no longer take on more than what I should, and I no longer take on what I should not. Because sometimes we take on what we should, what we need to, and that's good. But sometimes we also take on what we should not. We take on other people, we take on other businesses, we take on projects, we take on stress, we take on all of these things. The more you take on that is not yours, the more of yours you will lose. That's why I'm so glad that I am now recovery ready. I was carrying people, I tell the truth. I was entrepreneur full-time with my leadership business with Better Life Institute, still active in my ministry, doing everything I could for Legal Shield here in Georgia. And I'm taking all of this stuff on. And can you do this? Yep. Can you do this? And I found myself at a buffet when I really was supposed to be at a sit-down meal. You'll catch that later. I found myself at the buffet of life when I really should have been at a sit-down meal. What does that mean? At the buffet, you get a little bit of everything, and you try everything. But at the sit-down meal, there is a set plate, a set menu. And I found myself taking on what was really not for me. I'm trying all this other stuff, and it just wasn't working. And so I literally collapsed. Not physically, thank the Lord. He kept my body, but emotionally I collapsed. Spiritually I collapsed. So that's why I can talk about being recovery ready today. The first thing I want to talk about is the difference between recovery and restoration. I know a lot of times these terms are used interchangeable, but in this new year, I believe we need to be recovery ready. So restoration says replace what I had because somebody else messed it up. Think about it. If you have good insurance and somebody totals your car, they give you another car because they messed it up. Now, sometimes it works for you, but just get the idea. The scripture says, God says, I will restore to you that which the cankerworm stole. Not that you gave up, not that you did something wrong, but somebody else came and get. When a thief is caught, they're supposed to restore you sevenfold. They're supposed to give back what they stole sevenfold. So restoration is what happens when you lose something because somebody else messed up. But I really want to focus on recovery. Recovery is when you get back what you had because you messed up. And I believe in 2019 that life is forcing us to go back and deal with what we messed up. It is so easy in modern American culture, even within the church and everywhere else, to point the finger at everybody else, It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. But the wealthy require that you have a mindset of accountability. The wealthy require a mindset that you accept responsibility. And so that's why I am now recovery ready, because there were some things that I literally gave up. I gave up my health. I had not been to the gym in several months. I can't blame that on anybody else. I gave it up. I had also, but watch this, but my relationship was stolen from me. My relationship, part of life was taken from me. Earlier this year, I fallen in love really hard, really quick, something I had never done before. And I was really, really messed up because as soon as it came, you know, the old folks say, easy come, easy go. And as sure as it came, it went. And so it was like, oh my God, what do I do? But then later later on in the second half of the year, that was restored. And here's the crazy part when it comes to restoration versus recovery. A lot of times we're trying to force the timing. When somebody else is the cause of your loss, you cannot force the timing. You must let God or whoever that entity is that caused the loss replace it in due time. Have you ever noticed that people tell the stories of finding true love when they finally stop trying to force it, when they stop trying to look at every guy or every girl as a potential mate, when they stop trying to look at every guy or every girl as the one? And once they stopped doing that, now the time happened, it was right, restoration happened. So they were able to get back what was lost that was not any fault of their own. So again, recovery refers to getting back what we messed up. I lost one of my business streams. I lost 80% of my income. And it actually put me back in the classroom, which brought back, which restored the love of education. I'm still going to coach. That's not going to change. I'm still going to build my leadership business. That's not going to change. But I love the fact that I have that other part of my life restored to me. Iris just mentioned great credit will be restored. Yes, here's the crazy part. Great credit can be restored when it was stolen by identity theft. Great credit has to be recovered when you gave it up, because I did that too. I've been coaching on the 800 credit score on how to get there because I know it takes time. I know the steps to get there. But I put myself in such a position where I overextended myself, taking on more than I could financially, more than I should, because at the time I really could. If you're making $4 grand a month, almost $5 grand a month, and your bills are at $2,200 a month, give or take, you can take on something extra and still stack and save. Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes we get messed up with restoration because it's our own mistake that set us up. I had no clue that I would lose 80% of my income. I had no clue that the sale of my home would be pushed so far. I had no clue. And let me tell you something real true. As an entrepreneur, you have to put everything on the line as an investment to get the return of your dreams. And please don't shortchange that. You must invest. But you must become wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You must know the time and the season to invest 100%. And let me tell you something, I invested 150%, but because I took on too much, because I took on stuff that wasn't for me, because I inserted myself in other people's situations, I lost it. But guess what? God is faithful. Life is faithful. He set things in such a way where now I'm in recovery mode. And my question for you is, are you recovery ready? Are you ready to go fix the things that you screwed up? Are you ready to fix the things that you left open? There's a story in the Bible, and get the story, don't worry about the religion. There's a story in the Bible where King David's, he returned from battle and everything was gone. Everything was burned to the ground. And he went to God and he said, shall I pursue? And God said, yeah, go pursue it. He says, and you shall recover all. He didn't say you would have everything restored. He said you shall recover everything, because he left it open. And so many of the things that we're looking for change and we're looking for a turnaround in 2019, truth be told, we left it open. Truth be told, it wasn't settled and we ran with it. So listen, all I want to encourage you to do is, if you're not recovery ready for 2019, become recovery ready. Admit where you left things open. Admit where you left things unsecured. Admit where you went too far. Admit where you got happy and you ran with it way before it was time. Admit, 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 and then be accountable for where you messed up so you can fix it. But remember this, recovery takes time. You know, I've seen so many people who have been they've been caught up in drug addiction. You know, I'm not talking about where somebody jumped them and forced them to get on it. No. They willingly were enticed for whatever reason. They willingly participated in it for whatever reason. And they would spend, 8, 9, 10, 20 years of their life on these drugs. And once they were recovery ready, once they got the support and everything they needed, it still took them more than 2 days to get clean. And all I'm telling you, all I'm encouraging you to remember is that when you're recovery ready, yes, you admit where you messed up, you accept your part in the situation, but allow for time to do what it's supposed to do. Because recovery is not instantly, restoration can be. But recover is never, never, never instantly. All right. Listen, thanks for jumping on and joining us for the first year of the year. Again, Happy New Year. Thank you for jumping back on. Listen, on Thursday, I'm bringing back our on the Better Life Institute weekly Facebook Live. I'm going to talk about the 6 things you can do with money, because the recovery in my life first manifests with my finances. So I'm going to talk to you about 6 things to do with money. And I promise you want to give me those 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to run through it really quickly. It's a webinar that I do in much more detail, but I'm going to give you the free version on Thursday. Check the Better Life Institute Facebook page for the timing. And then also be sure to subscribe to the Better Life Institute page on YouTube. Remember, when life is pretty good, a better life is always best. Blessings to you. And remember, be recovery ready. I'll see you all on Thursday.